I don't understand how there's people that actually enjoy this movie, and just any movie that's like this and books. I wanted to stop watching it in the first 2 minutes of the film. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna be discussing and reviewing this new movie. It is not actually that new. I think it came out in February on Poland, I think. And it was recently picked up by Netflix and it became crazy viral. So I hope you consider to subscribe. I'm not that cool, but I try my best, okay? And also follow me on my social media. And now let's start with this video. Let's try not to lose some brain cells. 365 Days is a new film that has been getting a lot of attention for several reasons. I guess mainly because the actor is crazy hot, and well, the romance, I watched it because it was crazy popular. A lot of people were talking about it, and it was also on my top 10 in my country. I think it was #1, and I believe it's still on the top 10. Boy, do I wish I didn't watch that movie. So 365 DNI, or 365 Days, is the newest Polish erotic adult romance movie of the year. It's based on a book, and not just one book, it's a trilogy. Welcome to the newest 50 Shades of Grey. So the plot follows a young Polish woman in a spiritless relationship falling for a dominant Sicilian man who imprisons her and grants 365 days, aka a year. I don't understand why counted on days to fall in love with him. So let's talk about problems. I'm concerned for the people that actually like this movie. I believe this movie even makes 50 Shades of Grey to look like a healthy relationship, to be honest. And this movie also started being compared to 50 Shades of Grey, since it has a lot of similarities. In my opinion, I'm not a big fan of 50 Shades of Grey, but I think that the similarities between these two stories is that they're both trilogies, big on misogyny, women being submissive, and not the biggest fan, but I think they have a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of differences, and I don't think it's fair to kind of compare both of them. So there's a lot of problems in this movie, and I'm gonna try and remember every problem that I have with it. Early on in the film, I think it's between the first 5 minutes of the film, we see, what was his name, Maximo or something like that. We see him in like a private plane, goes to the flight attendant and force her into practice oral to him. It's not just her giving him oral sex, it's also him kind of like he grabs her head and kind of it starts being kind of aggressive. I think it's safe to assume that he finished off in her mouth. When the whole thing is over, you can see that also she had, it's not really clear if it's tears or if it's just sweat when he's done, when she walks away, which is what kind of fucked me off in the movie. And when I wanted to stop watching it, is that she was basically forced to practice oral sex on him. It wasn't consensual, she didn't want to do it, but the thing that, by how the movie went, because I haven't read the books, but the way the movie went is that she looked kind of happy, like happy that he picked her, you know? I don't know, it just really pissed me off. So the thing with Maximo, he's really hot, okay? This type of movies and books, they specifically choose an actor, they specifically made their character, you know, in this case Maximo, in 50 Shades of Grey, Christian, you know, they specifically made these characters to be hot, because, you know, if those movies, the actor wasn't hot, they wouldn't be as popular as they are, you know, and these movies wouldn't get away with this type of stuff. You know, it's funny because I read a tweet like, oh, pretty privilege exists, and I think it's quite true. You know, people that are very attractive, get away with a lot of things. It's the case when these type of films, you know, they get away with all these misogynistic views and all this type of crap because the actor is hot. I'll let him do whatever he wants to do, you know, just because he's hot. If he would have been ugly or just not really attractive, the dynamic would be different and the reaction from the public would be different. Okay, let's get back to the subject. The thing is that in the movie, in the beginning of the movie, we see him and his dad it's shot. I believe he's shot as well, but I don't really remember. And while that happened, he saw like a woman in his head, and after that, you know, he wanted to look for her, he wanted to like find out who this woman was. Anyway, so fast forward, he found her and kidnapped her, because why not, you know, why not kidnap her? You know, that's the girl he saw in his mind, the one that he saw when he was about to die. And obviously you find her, you kidnap her, because, you know, women have no right of freedom and choosing if they want to be a part of it. So yeah, also forgot to mention that the guy is also part of the mafia. So anyway, so while she's kidnapped, he kind of tells her that he's gonna give her 365 days to fall in love with him. She couldn't exactly escape, because if she did, he was gonna kill her parents. And then she told him, when he said that he was gonna give her 365 days, she said that she had a boyfriend. This gives me the interpretation of, I have a boyfriend, I already have an owner, I can't be yours. His whole deal is that he's not gonna do anything that she doesn't want him to do. He's not gonna do anything unless it's consensual. Yet again, he shows her several times, he is aggressive towards her several times, he even sexually to her. The thing with consent is that it's not just you insert your penis in a. Consent is just touching someone overall that they don't want to be touched. Yeah, he touched her several times, even though he said that he wasn't gonna do anything unless it was consensual, unless that was something that both of them wanted to do. She sort of starts falling in love with him, but is she actually falling in love with him? But she's not really falling in love with him. It's a whole, you know, storyline of you falling in love when you're kidnapped. There's billions of stories in Wattpad. Like, I remember I read one that it was, oh, One Direction kidnapped me, fell in love with Saint Malik. Biggest problem with this type of films and books is that they glamorize, they romanticize kidnapping, sexual, just rape, everything like that, and it's just something that doesn't sit well with me, because as much as people try to argue, it's like, we know this is fiction, we know this is not the reality. Some people get the common sense that this is just fiction and this should never happen in real life, and that you should never like allow this to happen. I know this is fiction, you know, but it still doesn't sit right with me to watch this, to be you know, at the age of 13, you read these kinds of stuff or you watch this kinds of movie and you are like, oh yeah, I also want this to happen to me. I want someone like Maximo to be with me, you know, he is hot, he has a lot of money, he's a millionaire, and just overall this type of stuff. So it doesn't really sit right with me, and I personally really dislike seeing this type of films and books out there in the public and kind of being promoted. There's also petitions to get a movie off of Netflix. Well, why didn't she go to the police? She actually did went to the police, and when she went and talked to them and explained them like, oh, she was kidnapped, and like tell them what was happening, Maximo walked in and the police didn't do anything for her because they knew Maximo, they were friends with Maximo, so nothing, you know, she couldn't exactly do anything because the law wasn't on her favor. Every damn time that dude will say, are you lost, baby girl? I wanted to take my eyes out, take my ears out, it made my skin crawled. So some of the things that he did, he drugged her, he tied up, he touched her, and still said, I won't do anything without your consent. The fact that he had the balls to say, I won't do anything without your consent, when you just literally kidnap her, are you fucking kidding me? And then the thing is that she ends up falling for him. She doesn't exactly fall for him, it's just Stockholm Syndrome. I just have to ask, was this book originally from Wattpad? Like, so the movie ends with her being pregnant. I don't think Maximo knows that she's pregnant. And he asks her to marry her. And then apparently the movie ends up in a cliffhanger, but apparently she died. I don't think she died. It's a trilogy, so obviously she didn't die. So I've seen like tweets and comments on the guy's Instagram that people saying, I want to be kidnapped, can you kidnap me? Just saying stuff like wanting to be kidnapped. I'm sure that these people don't actually mean to get kidnapped, but still it's not something that should be joked about. And these movies always get away when they're problematic because the actor is hot. I've seen people saying, well, some people actually enjoy, you know, raw sex and just things being rough. I get it, you know, everybody likes different things. Like, how can you enjoy a film where it's based off on kidnapped? There's no consensual type of shit. It's just, I don't understand how can people enjoy the movie. You actually watched the film and enjoyed it. So I just searched the book on Goodreads and it has a rating of 3.3 stars. I'm trying to find like a positive review. Okay, so I just found this review of the first book in Goodreads. Let's see. So this person gave it a 5 stars and says, waiting impatiently the translation of this trilogy. Movie is outstanding. Nothing to compare to the poor quality of 50 Shades, which is very cutesy. I understand the reference with the ball, the one sex scene that looks like bondage, but it's not. No BDSM whatsoever. No, what does that mean? BDSM is a term used to describe certain aspects of sex that can be split into these major groups: bondage and discipline, domination and submission, sadism and masochism. So you're really telling me that there's no domination and submission in those scenes? Are you kidding me? Some mention Stockholm Syndrome. I disagree. Yes, she was kidnapped, but never ever abused. Hold up. In fact, pretty spoiled, and she decided when. She was never abused, so choking someone is to be expected in a relationship. So touching your lady parts without you consented to it is not abuse. Some mention rape. No whatsoever. She initiated this. I mean, I started to read a review and it was pure hate. OMG. I love the movies, I love the actor, I love the plot. It was a movie I expected from 50 Shades and never got, mostly because the great actor is far from handsome and both were bad actors. But here, all actors were fantastic. Yep, they were fantastic. It was violent and raw and a passionate love story. Yeah, a great love story that starts when a kidnapped and developed into a Stockholm Syndrome. Chef's kiss. Yes, the ending is not a happy ending, but it's a tragedy. Movie 2 is on its way, 2021. Oh, please no. Since I believe books are always better than movies, I cannot wait for the English translation not yet done, June 2020. So, okay. So this is all based on the film because apparently the books are not translated yet. I want them to define abuse. That's what I want, because how can you say that she was never abused? Oh, she was spoiled. Well, that's the thing. When abusive relationships and just things and just abusers in general, they try to spoil you and give you things, so use it against you. Like, how can you say that I don't treat you right? I just bought you so many expensive things, you know, a way to buy your love or your silence in that way. This just made me really mad. I think I'm just gonna end the video right here because I'm starting to get really mad and I don't want to get mad. So conclusion, it's a horrible film. Don't watch it if you haven't watched it. Please just don't. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this movie, if you've watched it, if you haven't. If you haven't, don't watch it. Just don't, for your sanity. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to my channel, and also follow me on my socials, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.